Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Pages with Maggie, breaking down barriers one story at a time. Today, I welcome you to episode 49, where we'll be reading the story of Maybe Something Beautiful: How Art Transformed a Neighborhood. Written by F. Isabel Campoy and Teresa Howell, and illustrated by Rafael Lopez. So, before we begin, let us have a listen to the background story of this book. Now, what good can a splash of color do in a community of gray? As Mira and her neighbors discover more than you might ever imagine. Based on the true story of the urban art trail in San Diego, California, Maybe Something Beautiful reveals how art can inspire transformation and how even the smallest artists can accomplish something big. So without further ado, let us begin our story. In the heart of a gray city, there lived a girl who loved to doodle, draw, color, and paint. Every time she saw a blank piece of paper, Mira thought to herself, maybe. And because of this, her room was filled with color and her heart was filled with joy. On her way to school one day, Mira gave a round apple to Mr. Henry, the owner of the shop down the street. She gave a flower to Miss Lopez, the lady with the sparkling eyes. She gave a songbird to Mr. Sachs and a red heart to the policeman who walked up and down the streets. On her way home, Mira taped a glowing sun onto the wall, hiding in the shadows. Her city was less gray, but not much. The next day, Mira saw a man with a pocket full of paintbrushes. He gazed at the wall. He looked at her son. He held his fingers up in a square and peered through them. He said thoughtfully. What do you see? Mira asked. Maybe something beautiful, the man replied. Then, just like that, he dipped a brush in the paint. Bam! Pow! The shadows scurried away. Sky blue cut through the gloom. The man's laughter was like a rainbow spreading across the sky. Who are you? Mira asked. I'm an artist, he said. A muralist. I paint on walls. I'm an artist too, she told him. He handed Mira a brush. Then come on. Mira dipped it in the loudest color she saw. Yowie! The wall lit up like sunshine. As the man drew pictures on the bricks, Mira added color, punch, and pizzazz. Soon, Mr. Sachs joined in. Then came others. Everyone painted to the rhythm of salsa, merengue, and bebop. Even Mira's mama painted and danced the cha-cha-cha. The whole neighborhood became a giant block party until the policeman walked up. Excuse me, he said. The music stopped. Mira put her brush down. They were surely in trouble. The officer cleared his throat, then paused. May I paint with you? He asked. So Mira handed him a paintbrush, and the music started again. Teachers and papas jumped in, babies too. Mira and the man handed out brush after brush, and color spread throughout the streets, and so did joy. Whenever Mira and the man went, art followed like the string of a kite. After they colored the walls, they painted utility boxes and benches. They decorated sidewalls with poetry and shine, and everyone danced. Together, they created something more beautiful than they had ever imagined. When their clothes were splattered with a million colors, everyone sat down to rest. except the muralist. His eyes sparkled. You, my friends, are all artists, he told them. The world is your canvas. He smiled wide, then pulled everything together in big, sweeping motions. His paintbrush was like a magic wand. When he was finished, Mira added one more bird, way up in the sky. Maybe, she thought, just maybe. And now, after finishing the story, let us have a read of the note from the authors. Maybe something beautiful is written on a true story. At one time, the colorful East Village near downtown San Diego, California, did not have murals on the walls. No quotes from Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and Cesar Chavez written on the sidewalks. Benches were not the works of art you can see now, and people living in the area were not part of the vibrant community that they are today. Instead, the streets were gray and drab. But one day, a husband-wife team, he an artist and she a graphic designer and community leader, moved in and transformed the neighborhood into a place of beauty. Rafael and Candace Lopez designed a plan to bring people together to create art so that their neighborhood could become a better place for all to live. They held meetings in their home to share their idea. Everyone was invited. Police officers, graffiti artists, teachers, single parents, children, homeless people, and more. With the help of many, the Urban Art Trail was born, and volunteers of all ages, races, and walks of life committed themselves to a common goal, reviving the community through art. First came murals entitled The Joy of Urban Living and The Strength of the Women. Then the community painted utility boxes and benches bright colors. They crafted mosaics around the trees along the streets. Rafaela and Candace had noticed that in their neighborhood, people often looked down at the ground as they walked, so they painted poems in calligraphy on the sidewalks. And little by little, the entire neighborhood became a work of art and an inspiration to those who lived there. The impact of art in the neighborhood grew. Some of the painted benches were auctioned off, and the money provided classes and scholarships for at-risk students who had an interest in art. Visitors came to admire. Donations, big and small, came in, and what had once seemed to be an impossible dream became a trademark of San Diego's East Village. The movement prompted by the Urban Art Trail spread far and wide. Communities throughout the United States have commissioned Raphael's murals, and neighborhoods as far away as Canada and Australia have implemented the model of community-based art. Maybe something beautiful, illustrated by the muralist who inspired it, was written in honor of Rafael and Candace Lopez and all the quiet leaders in our neighborhoods. It is an invitation to transform not only the walls and streets of our cities, but also the minds and hearts of communities. Before we end, I would love to share with you a list of new words that I've collected from this week's story. Our first word is a verb, peer. Now, to peer means to look with concentration at something or someone. For example, our sentence can be, the child peered curiously outside the window to look at the birds. Our next word is gaze, which is a verb, which means to look at someone or something with admiration or surprise. For instance, we can say, the girl gazed at the murals with surprise and admiration. The third word is also a verb, which is scurry, which means to move hurriedly with short, quick steps, and it applies to a person or small animals. For example, we can also say, the rat scurried quickly away as people began entering the train station. Our next word, the fourth word, is muralist, which is a noun, which means a person who paints murals, which are paintings on the walls. Our next word is pizzazz, which is a noun and meaning a quality of being exciting, energetic, and attractive. Our next word is also a noun called canvas. Now, the meaning of canvas is the surface that is to be painted with. Now, a canvas doesn't just need to be a cloth where oil paintings are made. Canvas can also be a wall, like the murals, can be rocks, and also blackboards with chalk. Our second last word of this episode is salsa, which is also a noun, and it is a type of Latin American dance music with jazz and rock elements. And the last word is merengue, which is also a noun, which means a Caribbean style of dance music. Well, thank you very much for joining with me here today for episode 49 of Behind the Pages with Maggie, breaking down barriers one story at a time. I hope you learned something from today's episode, and I also hope this story inspires you to explore the creative side within you. Thank you very much. I hope to see you in next week's episode. Goodbye for now.